It may not look like it at first, but inside this nondescript warehouse in Paso Robles, there is a cheese oasis just waiting to be discovered. It's all the brainchild of Reggie Jones. He started his Central Coast Creamery in 2007 with the hopes of using his knowledge of cheese making to turn this wine country into wine and cheese country.
I started making cheese in 1991, right out of college, and it was something I always wanted to do. I had worked in a lot of large facilities. Just saw that you either had to be very small and artisanal and get high premiums for your cheese that you're making, or you had to be very large, and just nothing in between was working.
What is working here is all the different cheeses Reggie is molding. They're making 180,000 pounds of cheese a year here, including his award-winning Goat Gouda, which was one of 3 winners recently at the American Cheese Society competition.
I mean, seriously, what does that feel like? Because that's like I described to someone the Oscars of cheese. I mean, that's huge.
We got 1 in the top 16 at the World Cheese Championship once, and that was great. To get 3 in the top 20 is it's unheard of and obviously unexpected. So we've got a lot of people that have called and congratulated us, and a lot of friends in the cheese industry that I've known for a lot of years are really happy for us.
And what were those 3?
So those 3 were goat cheddar, which is over here.
Okay.
And Seascape, which is a mix of goat and cow milk.
Oh,
so that's the one with the brown rind that you'll see.
Got it.
And then Eureka, which is a play on the California state motto, spelled E-W-E. And that is a sheep milk cheddar.
Part of what makes Reggie's cheeses so good is the fact that they come from different milk sources. Local goat, cow, and sheep milk are all used for the cheeses, including one that he's the only cheesemaker in California doing right now.
So we have 500 gallons of cow milk here. We're making Holy Cow creamy Swiss cheese. We're about in the middle of the process. We brought in 500 gallons of milk. We've heated it to 145 degrees, held it for 30 minutes, so it's fully pasteurized.
Or why aren't there more people making Swiss cheese?
The texture, the acidity, the moisture, the fat level, everything has to be exactly right. Otherwise, you'll end up with what they call blind cheese, blind Swiss. It has no eyes. The holes we call eyes. So
I get it.
From there, the goal in cheese making is to concentrate the solids enough to make cheese. So Reggie and his team work at separating the curds and the whey. For every 10 pounds of milk, you get 1 pound of cheese and 9 pounds of whey, and that's all given to a local farmer for their livestock to feed on. The cheese curds are cut into squares and pressed into molds where they'll eventually be flipped, and then we'll spend the night there before getting bathed in a salty brine for the next 48 hours.
So we're brining some cheese here, huh?
yeah, so these are our brine tanks. So this is where the cheese will actually take up the salt. The other purpose is that it will float in here, and then that'll maintain the shape. So they stay in here for 24 hours and then get flipped over, and then another 24 hours, so a total of 48 hours. And then they'll come out. At that point, it'll form a nice rind on the outside of the cheese, and that will allow it to go onto the boards without flattening out like a pancake.
From here, the cheese will go into the aging room where it will be flipped every so often to ensure the rind develops correctly. After aging, it's cut and labeled and sent to a variety of retailers here in California and across the country to enjoy.
Some of the best cheese in the world is being made right here, and we just want people to recognize that we're here and that we're doing a great job.